Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2021 Lifetime original Christmas film, Maps and Mistletoe. So this is main character Amelia. She's a cartographer. She's at this Crescent Cove town, small town, and there's a celebrity who comes into town, Drew Campbell, who has this show, Where in the World is Drew Campbell? He's an explorer. So he visits various lands across the world, and this volcano's erupting, and etc. Right? So his editor is saying that he has to write an article now for like a hometown kind of Christmas, because he hasn't had one in quite some time. So killing two birds with one stone. He actually grew up 2 hours away from this particular Crescent Cove city, and so he hasn't dealt with his parents passing and the family now that's taking care of his family home, and as well as the farm slash ranch. He's going to be gifting them that property for Christmas, but he's also trying to write this article because he hasn't had a hometown Christmas in quite some time. He hasn't been stateside in over 8 years. That's what he says. So Amelia is very work focused, and her family's off to New Zealand for a separate Christmas celebration, but she's back in the hometown, still taking care of work and still doing map stuff. And it's a matter of her boss slash the mayor wants her now to make a map of the North Pole, but splice in some Christmas stuff for the kiddos, even though Christmas is 3 weeks away. So clearly that could be mass produced by then, right? Sure. So she's tasked with taking Drew around Crescent Cove to, get him acquainted with the, suburban lifestyle of the small town, small picturesque suburb of the, wintry snow. And then, of course, they fall for each other, and, Christmas isn't Christmas without you, and all that sappy, gushy stuff. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's there. It's Christmas fluff. That's the theme of these Lifetime movies, and I feel like I've been saying this for many of this marathon of Lifetime films that we've been saying. They're not terrible, and they're not amazing. They're just there. They're fluff. They're cute. They're Christmas. It's just, it gets the job done. It's no harm, no foul. No life lessons to be learned from this. It's just interesting seeing different people doing different things. This particular main character, Amelia, is Venezuelan. Going into that kind of backstory, so then now looking at Christmas at different cultures. So that's the thing I said a way back when we were talking about certain Netflix shows or films, that I like that there's different countries and cultures represented within different Netflix properties, that I can experience certain things that I'm not accustomed to. So we were talking about some Norwegian Christmas show, Home for Christmas, right? Didn't really like the show, but I appreciated the cultural immersion to it because I'm not familiar with Norwegian Christmas culture and stuff. So it was neat seeing not so much Venezuelan Christmas culture, because it was more so the local American suburban town, but her backstory was mentioned her parents coming from Venezuela was mentioned quite a few times. But there was this one point where she was just sitting on her couch on her laptop saying, how did they celebrate Christmas in the Philippines? Because she spun a globe and picked a place with her finger, and it was the Philippines. And then she said, how do they do Christmas in the Philippines? And then had a bunch of articles and pictures and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a neat little, how do they do Christmas? How does that culture do Christmas? How does this country do Christmas? It's interesting. It's interesting getting the different cultural roundabout experience. They mentioned melting pot, everything coming together within America at one point. So I thought that was neat. Cultural diversity, representation matters. That's the best aspect I can say about this. But I enjoy learning, and I enjoy learning about other cultures, and I enjoy seeing other cultures' celebrations of Christmas. So that's, I guess, the point of this particular film, was to explore that curiosity, explore that query. Otherwise, the characters were blah, the plot was blah, but the cultural questioning aspect I enjoyed. I will never have to watch this again. Checked it off the Christmas list. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.